Hi guys, December 3rd still here, Wednesday. So, Adam Kinsinger, put out this, post or video yesterday about Taco's secret deal with, Russia exposed. So I want to give you a few seconds on that. Bottom line here is, we've come to the conclusion, and I think that we can emphatically say this with Witkoff and Jared Kushner involved in the deal, that this is a real estate deal. Okay, so let me just play this for a few seconds, and then I'll get into what's going on here.
Military in the future? Why would they want that? And most importantly, the $300 billion that's frozen in European banks, that's Russian assets that were frozen when this war kicked off, that should actually go to rebuilding Ukraine or purchasing weapons for Ukraine to defend itself. Donald Trump is attempting to both release that money back to Russia and also personally profit from it. Look, when this war kicked off, when it expanded, it's been going for a long time, but when it expanded...
Okay, so he said that. Let's just get to our point here. This is what this is. It's a real estate deal. Okay, so that's what's going on, guys. Let's just get to the meat and potatoes of this real estate deal. And you will agree.
The Ukraine war as a real estate deal. Asterisk Putin equals the buyer. Ukraine equals the property. Trump equals the broker. Witkoff and Kushner equals the agents sent to Moscow to close the deal. Fire new edition, why they met in Alaska. Trump's secret ice runway, meeting with Putin in Alaska a few months ago, now makes perfect sense through the real estate lens. That was the pre-closing meeting. The same way real estate brokers meet a buyer privately at a neutral location to lock in. The scope of the deal. What assets are included. What the buyer needs. And what commissions will be. Alaska was chosen because it is U.S. territory. Trump can claim no foreign travel. It is geographically closer to Russia. It avoids European intelligence monitoring. It prevents leaks from NATO member states. It keeps Congress and State Department completely in the dark. That meeting was the handshake. Witkoff and Kushner in Moscow now are the paper signers. Everything lines up. Fire new edition. Europe knows this truth, but cannot say it. European intelligence services, especially France, Germany, Poland, and the Baltics, are fully aware that. Witkoff and Jared are in Moscow. Trump is structuring a land for cash settlement. The $300 billion frozen assets are central. Putin's buyer requirements include Ukraine neutrality. Trump is positioning himself for a financial payoff. But here's the problem. If Europe says this openly, Trump explodes and punishes them. He has already threatened to pull out of NATO, demanded 5% of GDP in payments, threatened tariffs, attacked European leaders personally, bragged about telling Putin he could do whatever he wants to them. So Europe is stuck in the worst possible situation. They know exactly what Trump is doing, but if they speak publicly, they risk destabilizing the alliance and accelerating Trump's retaliation. This is why European leaders speak in vague terms. EU statements reference concerning developments. NATO says we encourage continued support for Ukraine. Nobody mentions Witkoff. Nobody mentions Jared. Nobody says the phrase real estate deal. They can't, but they know. You found the truth they can't say. Fire new edition. How this exposes Witkoff, Jared, Trump, and Marco Rubio. Steve Witkoff, a real estate developer with deep Trump ties. He has Russian-linked investors, Russian-linked creditors. Years of dealing with opaque offshore capital, he is the structuring agent. Jared Kushner, the man who raised $2 billion from Saudi Arabia after leaving the White House. He is the conduit for foreign sovereign money. If Putin wants to pay Trump quietly, Jared handles. Trusts, private equity vehicles, Real estate shells. Offshore real estate transfers. Donald Trump. The broker. The orchestrator. The one who sees land, not people. To him, Ukraine equals not a country. Ukraine equals an asset. Ukraine equals a distressed seller. Putin equals a cash buyer. Frozen assets equals escrow. Tariffs and sanctions equals negotiating leverage. U.S. foreign policy equals a bargaining chip. Nobel Peace Prize equals the marketing closing gift. Marco Rubio. This is where it gets extremely damning. Rubio serves on the Senate Intelligence Committee. He has access to classified Ukraine assessments, visibility into Russian asset flows, knowledge of Trump's private envoys, awareness of foreign contacts involving U.S. citizens. If Rubio is defending or enabling this peace plan, it means he. Right Arrow knew a private land for cash deal was being cooked. Right Arrow did nothing to expose it. Right Arrow allowed Trump's team to negotiate with Russia without authorization. That is material participation in unauthorized foreign negotiations, a violation of the Logan Act and Senate ethics. This real estate frame exposes Rubio in the same net as Trump, Witkoff, and Jared. The Ukraine war as a real estate deal. Putin equals the buyer. Ukraine equals the property. Trump equals the broker. Witkoff and Kushner equals the agents sent to Moscow to close the deal. Fire why Trump met Putin in Alaska a few months ago. That meeting was the pre-closing conference, a quiet location to outline what land Russia wants, what military limits Ukraine must accept, how the $300 billion in frozen assets will be unfrozen, and what Trump's commission structure looks like. Fire why Europe knows, but can't say it aloud. If Europe says publicly that Trump is brokering a land for cash deal for Putin, Trump will retaliate instantly. Tariffs. NATO withdrawal threats. Destabilization operations. Public humiliation of EU leaders. So European leaders whisper the truth privately, but stay silent publicly to avoid provoking him. But they know. Fire how it exposes Witkoff / Jared / Trump / Rubio. Witkoff equals the real estate structuring agent. Jared equals the offshore conduit for payments. Trump equals the broker whose payday depends on Russia winning. Rubio equals the intelligence committee member who knows but stays silent.
There you go, guys. It's a real estate deal, and we need to put an end to it. That's really it. Witkoff is a con artist. Jared, con. This is all a con game for this, for Taco to get paid, basically. And obviously Witkoff going to get paid. Jared's going to get paid. And this $300 billion that Putin wants to also get paid. Okay? Get his money back. That's really it, guys. Okay? So that's the reason why Ukraine, we need to support Ukraine. We need to support Europe. And we need to stop this bullshit.